everyone, and welcome to another backstage interview from the Metals Investor Forum. Today, I have two of the leaders from Blue Lagoon with me on the call. I have both Rana Vig, who's the president and CEO. I believe you have both of those positions. And I have Bill Cronk, who leads the exploration side of the story. And it's kind of great having you both here because I wanted to sort of ask about two sides of the story. Rana, I'm going to start with you. Let's talk about this project, how you came to get this project that's like almost in production, small scale production, but still was so close to production, and sort of what that means for them in the moment for Blue Lagoon.
Sure. Well, you know what? As they say that the harder you work, the luckier you get, right? So a little bit of it was just luck. We looked at a lot when I launched this company, a couple of years ago. We started, but we were looking for something bigger, and this project came. And to be honest with you, when I looked at it first, I kind of dismissed it because I just thought, oh, here we go again. Somebody who says that we have a permit and we're almost there. We only need a couple $1 million. I heard this thing so many times.
Right.
But the guy who had introduced it to me, their CFO, was very persistent and he kept on it. So eventually we looked at it, and my lawyers looked at it, and Bill looked at it, and we thought, wow, they actually do have they have all the permits that are required. And we went up on the site, and we were very impressed at how well it was laid out and the amount of money that was spent, and all on development and infrastructure, and nearly 1,000 meters of underground tunneling right to the face of the vein, the main vein. So so basically, my predecessors had spent $28 million in the last dozen years, all on development and permitting and infrastructure. They literally ran out of time. They only needed a couple more $1 million. And they're 83 years old, wonderful people, but not in the best of health. So they just literally ran out of time. And along I came, and we made what we think is just an incredible deal, which was zero cash and all stock at our highest valuation at the time. So it's it's literally at the 99-yard line, and we only had to do three things to the amendment work in order to get it into production, which was the underground bolting, which was about a $500,000 budget. That's all complete now. We had to finish the water treatment plant, which was about $400,000. As we speak, we literally just finished it, and I believe Bill and his team and the water treatment consultants, they turned it on yesterday. So we are in the phase of trials right now and running everything to make sure everything is smooth. And the last piece of it is just the reclamation plans, which ERM is more than half complete. And we expect to have all those finished by the end of April. So we are that close. And then the rest is just a matter of submitting it to the ministry. And we fully believe that by the end of summer, early fall, we should be in a decision to make a production decision.
I mean, and it's funny, usually when a company says a production decision, that means like, okay, let's start building a mine. But for you guys, that means let's just start mining, because you're going to take the ore to a mill that's close by. So it's literally just, okay, go.
I only say production decision. We already know what we're going to do, but legally, technically, I think I'm supposed to say production decision.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure Bill and we've decided what we're going to do.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't come this far to leave that undetermined. Okay, so that's obviously, I mean, that's a key part of the backstory, that this group was very focused on getting a small, high grade area into production. They wanted to produce gold, and fair enough. That was this private group's focus, and that's what they put $28 million into, which is a phenomenal job on their part. Too bad for them that they ran out of time. That's great in terms of giving you an asset that's just about ready to produce, but then it also means that there was a lot of opportunity, geologic opportunity, around that small resource that was not that they did not pay much attention to over the years that they had the asset. So Bill, this is sort of a big question for you to ask. It's just your whole universe right now, but do you want to run us through the various areas or opportunities that you see on the exploration front? Because that is truly the other side of the Blue Lagoon story.
Right. Well, first of all, we have a land package now that's a little over 18,000 hectares. The area that we're working at, the Dome Mountain Mine and the Boulder Vein itself, is just a very small portion of it. In the surrounding area of the dome, there's been some work in the past, but it amounts to less than 10% of the terrain has really been explored in any detail at all. Anytime you're talking about geology and exploration and potential, you're talking about geology, geophysics, and geochemistry. Now, the geology is fertile terrain, Middle Hazelton Group, well known in the district, all the way on up into the Golden Triangle. We have it's fertile volcaniclastic rocks with tertiary intrusions. It's fertile ground for exploration. There's very little outcrop sticking out of the ground, so we have to get the boots on and head out into the bush. Geophysically, we just flew it last year with a big airborne survey, both MAG and EM, and we see from that data a lot of clear structural contrast, a lot of fertile ground and fertile geophysical signatures for further host, vein hosted type gold deposits, gold, silver. However, we also see from the airborne data classic porphyry copper signatures, and we also see from that data a couple locations that have both. Especially from known geology, we could kind of tune our data from what we know to what we don't know, and we see that we have porphyry copper signatures sitting right in areas of high grade vein type structures. So we're very pleased with that, as well as the geochemistry. Now, last year we had a limited field season for soils. Took it right to when the snow flew. We grabbed a little over 1,100 samples, and we have the soil results back with clear golden soil anomalies, gold, silver, and some of these with pathfinder elements that are also significant. And that if you can stack one element being anomalous on top of the other, what we call coincident anomalies, we can prioritize that target for further exploration, including drilling, which we hope to do in 2021. So we're in very good geology. The geophysics is a clear designator of areas to prioritize, as well as our early geochem. 2021 will be following up that. We'll probably take 4,000 or 5,000 soils, do some ground-based IP, and the drill rig is turning now. So we'll take a small spring break while everything melts here, and we'll be back to drilling probably May, right into fall, following up these targets.
And just so you were drilling for sure, and the initial focus on drilling was right at the Boulder vein, which is where the resource is. So the first results that people will see is looking to just expand the resource that already exists at Boulder, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. And then that work will continue, but will be layered on top, but interlayered will be exploring some of these other targets, some of which, have some holes in them, have some samples that are enticing, shall we say.
Well, the historical database includes 15 known gold veins that are exposed at the surface. Some of these veins have been prospected on, sampled, some of them have been drilled, and some of you had some underground work and development, and one like the Forks vein system has a small historical non-43-101 compliant, but it has a small historical gold resource associated with that we can grow and we can target immediately.
Yeah. And just to give people a little context for the project, we haven't talked about grade yet. Do you want to give us the grade of the Boulder resource so people know the sort of vein environment that we're in here?
Well, the overall grade is 12 to 14 grams. Historically, and from samples that we've gathered there and around there, I mean, it's the sky's the ceiling on that. At the Boulder vein, it has a general ratio of gold to silver of 1 to 4. In over several thousand assays, the actual ratio is 4.13, I believe. Okay. The total statistical. So we have a strong gold resource or a silver resource along with the gold at Boulder.
Cool. Well, you guys have a lot on your plate, but things are marching along, and I certainly look forward to keeping up with the story as the year progresses. So thanks very much for taking the time today, Rana and Bill.
Thank you, Gwen. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.